He Legion of the Damned. These spectral warriors, appearing as if from nowhere in humanity's darkest hours, have become a symbol of hope and vengeance for the Imperium of man. The Legion of the Damned defies easy categorization. They are neither living nor dead, existing in a state that blurs the line between reality and the warp. Clad in black power armor adorned with fire and skeletal iconography, these ghostly space marines materialize on battlefields across the galaxy when all hope seems lost, turning the tide of battle with their unworldly presence and unmatched combat prowess. Their origins are as enigmatic as their nature. Some whisper they are the remnants of the Lost Firehawks chapter, transformed by their ordeal in the warp. Others believe them to be manifestations of the Emperor's will, or perhaps the spirits of fallen space marines given one last chance to serve. Whatever the truth, their impact on the Imperium's wars is undeniable. The Legion's appearances are as unpredictable as they are dramatic. They emerge from swirling flames or step out of the shadows, their armor blackened and scarred, flames licking at their feet. Their eyes glow with an inner fire, and their weapons burn with otherworldly energy. They fight with a silent, implacable determination, impervious to pain or fear, their only goal the utter destruction of the Emperor's enemies. In battle, the Legion of the Damned seems to defy the laws of physics and probability. Bullets pass harmlessly through their incorporeal forms, while their own shots find their marks with unerring accuracy. They appear precisely where they are needed most, whether it's to break a seemingly impenetrable siege or to save a crucial Imperial leader from certain death. The Imperium's reaction to the Legion is a mixture of awe, gratitude, and suspicion. For many Imperial citizens and soldiers, the arrival of these fiery apparitions is seen as a miracle, a sign of the Emperor's favor. Ecclesiarchy priests speak of them as angels of vengeance, sent by the Emperor himself to smite his foes. Yet others, particularly among the more pragmatic elements of the Adeptus Mechanicus and Inquisition, view the Legion with caution, wary of their supernatural nature and unexplained powers. Despite countless investigations and studies, the true nature of the Legion of the Damned remains a mystery. They leave no traces behind when they vanish after battle, save for the bodies of their fallen enemies. Attempts to communicate with them or detain them for study have all failed. They appear to operate outside the normal chain of command, guided by some unseen force or knowledge that directs them to where they are most needed. The Legion's impact on Imperial morale cannot be overstated. In a galaxy where the enemies of mankind seem endless and hope is a rare commodity, the knowledge that these spectral warriors might appear in the direst moments has turned the tide of many a battle before it even began. Stories of their exploits spread quickly, growing with each retelling, further cementing their legendary status. As we delve deeper into the saga of the Legion of the Damned, we will explore their possible origins, recount their most famous interventions, and examine the theories surrounding their existence. We will look at how they fight, the impact they've had on Imperial strategy and theology, and the ongoing debates about their true nature and purpose. In a universe where the line between reality and nightmare is often blurred, where the warp's influence can twist the fabric of existence itself, the Legion of the Damned stands as a testament to the enduring mysteries of the 41st millennium. They are a force that embodies both the hope and the horror of the Imperium's endless war for survival, a reminder that in the grim darkness of the far future, even death may not be the end of a warrior's duty to the Emperor of mankind. The Imperium of man stands as the primary beneficiary of the Legion's interventions. This vast, galaxy-spanning empire of humanity frequently finds itself on the brink of destruction, only to be saved by the timely arrival of these spectral warriors. The Imperium's various branches react differently to the Legion's presence. The Adeptus Ministorum, or Ecclesiarchy, often views their appearances as divine manifestations, bolstering the faith of billions. Conversely, the Adeptus Mechanicus regards them with scientific curiosity, eager to unravel the technological or warp-based phenomena behind their existence. Space Marine chapters, while grateful for the Legion's aid, maintain a complex relationship with these ghostly counterparts. Some chapters view them as honored allies, while others harbor suspicions about their true nature and allegiance. The Inquisition, ever vigilant against threats both external and internal, keeps a watchful eye on the Legion's activities, torn between gratitude for their service and wariness of their unexplained powers. The enemies of the Imperium form another crucial group in the Legion's saga. Chaos forces, in particular, seem to be frequent targets of the Damned's wrath. Traitor Marines, demons, and cultists alike have fallen before their relentless assault. The Legion's ability to appear where the veil between real space and the warp is thinnest makes them particularly effective against chaos incursions. Xenos races, too, have felt the burning touch of the Legion's fury. From orc wogs to tyrannid hive fleets, many alien threats have seen their advances halted by these implacable warriors. The Eldar, with their psychic sensitivity, seem particularly attuned to the Legion's otherworldly nature, regarding them with a mixture of fascination and dread. The Firehawks chapter holds a special place in any discussion of the Legion of the Damned. This lost chapter, presumed destroyed in a warp storm, is often cited as the possible origin of the Legion. The similarities in heraldry and the timing of the Legion's first recorded appearances lend credence to this theory, though it remains unproven. The Emperor of Mankind, though silent on his golden throne, is intrinsically linked to the Legion in the minds of many Imperial citizens. Theories abound that the Legion acts as a direct manifestation of his will, smiting his enemies when the need is greatest. This belief, whether true or not, significantly impacts how the Legion is perceived throughout the Imperium. The warp itself plays a crucial role in the Legion's existence. As a dimension of psychic energy and the realm of chaos, the warp's influence on real space creates the conditions that allow the Legion to manifest. Understanding the warp is key to unraveling the mysteries surrounding these spectral warriors. Librarians and other psychers often report unusual phenomena accompanying the Legion's appearances. Their sensitivity to the warp allows them to perceive the Legion in ways others cannot, making them valuable sources of information about these enigmatic warriors. The Adeptus Custodes, the Emperor's personal guard, maintain a keen interest in the Legion's activities. As the guardians of the Emperor's physical form and the keepers of many Imperial secrets, their perspective on the Legion could prove crucial in understanding its true nature. Finally, the common soldiers and citizens of the Imperium play a vital role in the Legion's story. It is their accounts, passed down as legends and myths, that form much of what is known about the Legion of the Damned. Their faith in these supernatural saviors often proves as powerful a weapon as any in the Imperium's arsenal. The roots of the Legion of the Damned's legend stretch back to the tumultuous era following the Horus Heresy. In the wake of this galaxy-spanning civil war, the Imperium found itself beset by enemies on all sides, its defenses weakened and its faith shaken. It was in this climate of desperation and constant warfare that the first whispered accounts of spectral space marines began to circulate. The most widely accepted theory regarding the Legion's origins centers on the ill-fated Firehawks chapter. In 963.M41, the entire chapter fleet, including their fortress monastery, Raptorus Rex, vanished into the warp while en route to the Crow's World system. This event, known as the Pentarchy of Blood, marked the last confirmed sighting of the Firehawks. 2 centuries later, ships bearing Firehawks insignia emerged from the warp in the orc-infested Eridanis sector. These vessels, charred and barely operational, carried space marines whose armor was blackened and adorned with disturbing iconography of death and damnation. These warriors fought with unnatural strength and resilience, turning the tide against the orc invasion before vanishing as mysteriously as they had appeared. This incident sparked intense debate within the Imperium. Some argued that these were the long-lost Firehawks, transformed by their ordeal in the warp. Others believed them to be a new and unknown force, perhaps created by the Emperor himself to aid his realm in times of greatest need. The Inquisition launched numerous investigations into the phenomenon, but concrete evidence remained elusive. Each appearance of the Legion seemed to defy explanation, with eyewitness accounts often conflicting or bordering on the impossible. The Ordo Malleus, specializing in demonic threats, took particular interest in the Legion, suspecting a connection to warp entities. As reports of the Legion's interventions grew more frequent, patterns began to emerge. They always appeared at moments of dire need, often when Imperial forces faced certain defeat. Their presence invariably turned the tide of battle, but they never remained to celebrate victory or receive accolades. This behavior fueled speculation about their motivations and the force guiding their actions. The Adeptus Mechanicus proposed several theories to explain the Legion's nature. Some tech priests suggested they might be utilizing advanced teleportation technology, while others hypothesized about experimental warp drives allowing for precise materialization on battlefields. None of these theories, however, could fully account for the Legion's ghostly attributes or their apparent invulnerability to conventional weapons. Within the ecclesiarchy, debate raged over the theological implications of the Legion's existence. Some factions saw them as divine agents, physical manifestations of the Emperor's will. Others warned that they could be a chaos trick, designed to lull the faithful into a false sense of security before revealing their true, malevolent nature. The Space Marines' reaction to the Legion varied by chapter. Some, like the Ultramarines, recorded the Legion's assistance with gratitude in their annals. Others, particularly those with a more Puritan outlook, regarded the Spectral warriors with suspicion, seeing their otherworldly nature as a potential corruption of the Emperor's vision for his Space Marines. As centuries passed, the legend of the Legion grew. Imperial guardsmen shared tales of imminent defeat turned to victory by the arrival of burning skeletal warriors. Planetary governors spoke in hushed tones of assassination attempts thwarted by shadowy, flame-wreathed figures. Even in the highest echelons of Imperial power, the Legion of the Damned became a subject of intense speculation and debate. The Legion's appearances seemed to increase in frequency as the Imperium entered the tumultuous time of the 13th Black Crusade. As the forces of chaos poured from the Eye of Terror, numerous accounts surfaced of the Legion, turning the tide in key battles. This surge in activity led some to believe that the Legion's power was somehow linked to the intensity of the threats facing the Imperium. Throughout these events, the true nature of the Legion remained a mystery. Were they the souls of fallen Space Marines, given one last chance to serve the Emperor, a psychic manifestation of humanity's collective will to survive, or something else entirely, defying all attempts at categorization or understanding? The Legion of the Damned's interventions span millennia, each appearance adding to their mystique. Their first recorded manifestation occurred during the Achilles Crusade in the Jericho Reach. As Imperial forces faced annihilation at the hands of a Tyranid splinter fleet, the Legion materialized amidst flames, their guns blazing with unearthly fire. Their sudden arrival shattered the Tyranid assault, allowing the beleaguered Imperial forces to regroup and claim victory. Following this initial sighting, reports of the Legion's activities began to surface across the galaxy. On the Forge world of Graia, they emerged from the shadows to repel a chaos incursion, their weapons cutting through demonic entities with unprecedented efficiency. Witnesses described the Legionnaires as impervious to the corrupting influence of chaos, their very presence seeming to weaken the fabric of reality that allowed the demons to manifest. During the Badab War, the Legion made multiple appearances, often turning the tide at crucial moments. Their most notable intervention came during the Siege of Sentinel Prime, where they materialized within the heart of the rebel forces, sowing confusion and terror. This action allowed Loyalist Space Marines to break the siege and secure a vital victory. The 13th Black Crusade saw a marked increase in Legion activity. As Abaddon, the Despoiler's forces, poured from the Eye of Terror, the Spectral warriors appeared on dozens of worlds. On Cadia, they were witnessed fighting alongside the Imperial Guard, their flaming bolters cutting swaths through traitor Marines and cultists alike. Even as the planet cracked and died, Survivors reported seeing legionnaires continuing to battle, impervious to the world's destruction around them. In the wake of the Great Rift's formation, the Legion's appearances became more frequent, but also more unpredictable. They manifested in the Imperium Nihilus, bringing hope to isolated worlds cut off from Terra's light. On the shrine world of San Lior, they emerged from the Golden Throne's flames in the planet's central cathedral, rallying the populace against a Genestealer cult uprising. The Indomitus Crusade, led by the resurrected Primarch Robut Guilliman, encountered the Legion on several occasions. During the Battle of Raukos, Guilliman himself witnessed their intervention, describing them as the Emperor's vengeance made manifest. This endorsement from a Primarch lent new credence to theories of the Legion's divine nature. As the Imperium struggled with the aftermath of the Cicatrix Maledictum, the Legion appeared with increasing regularity in regions where the barrier between real space and the warp had grown thin. On the frontier world of Helium, they materialized to combat a demonic incursion, their presence stabilizing reality itself and allowing Imperial forces to banish the invaders back to the warp. The Legion's activities weren't limited to large-scale conflicts. Reports surfaced of individual legionnaires appearing to save key Imperial figures from assassination or to eliminate particularly dangerous enemies. A Calidus assassin targeting a planetary governor suspected of heresy found her quarry already eliminated by a lone, flame-wreathed warrior who vanished moments later. In the Ghoul Stars region, where strange and terrible Xenos threats lurk, the Legion manifested to combat an entity known only as the Pale Wasting. Imperial records of this encounter remain heavily redacted, but surviving accounts speak of the Legion fighting alongside beings of light against horrors that defied description. The War of Beasts on Vigilus saw multiple Legion interventions. As various factions fought for control of this vital world, the Spectral warriors appeared at critical junctures, often saving Imperial forces from certain defeat. Their presence was particularly noted in battles against Genestealer cult forces, with the Legion displaying an uncanny ability to root out hidden cult members. During the Plague Wars in Ultramar, the Legion fought against the forces of Nurgle with notable effectiveness. Their immunity to disease and corruption made them ideal combatants against the Plague God's minions. Ultramarines librarians reported sensing a cleansing fire emanating from the Legionnaires, capable of purging even the most virulent warp-born plagues. As the Dark Imperium saga unfolded, the Legion's appearances began to show patterns previously unnoticed. Inquisitorial analyses suggested a correlation between their manifestations and fluctuations in the Astronomican's power. This led to theories that the Legion might be tied to the Emperor's psychic beacon in ways not yet understood. The Psychic Awakening, a galaxy-wide surge in psychic activity, coincided with an increase in Legion sightings. On worlds experiencing widespread psychic phenomena, the Spectral warriors often appeared to combat warp-spawned threats or to protect newly emerged psychers from possession. Throughout these events, the Legion remained true to its mysterious nature. They never stayed long after a battle, never communicated their intentions, and left no trace save for the bodies of their enemies. Each appearance added layers to their legend, cementing their status as one of the Imperium's most enigmatic and awe-inspiring forces. The Battle of Midgardia in 976.M41 stands as a pivotal moment in the Legion of the Damned's storied history. This conflict, a desperate struggle against a massive chaos invasion, showcased the Legion's power and cemented their reputation as saviors of the Imperium. Midgardia, an ice world of strategic importance, faced annihilation at the hands of a Chaos warband led by the infamous Chaos Lord Amadeus Folkstein. Imperial defenses crumbled under the onslaught, with the planet's fate hanging by a thread. It was at this critical juncture that the Legion manifested in their full, terrifying glory. Emerging from swirling vortexes of flame, the Spectral warriors materialized across the battlefield. Their arrival sent shockwaves through both Imperial and Chaos forces. Guardsmen, on the verge of routing, found new courage. Chaos cultists, previously drunk on the promise of victory, now faced an enemy that struck terror into their twisted hearts. The Legion's attack was swift and merciless. They moved with supernatural speed, their weapons leaving trails of ethereal fire as they cut through the Chaos ranks. Folkstein's elite Terminators, previously unstoppable, fell like wheat before the scythe. The Chaos Lord himself, a veteran of 100 battles, found his formidable psychic defenses useless against the Legion's otherworldly assault. As the battle raged, witnesses reported extraordinary phenomena. Legionnaires phased through solid matter, appearing inside fortified positions to wreak havoc. Their bolter rounds ignored armor, striking directly at the corrupted souls of their targets. Even demons, usually impervious to conventional weapons, howled in agony as the Legion's flames seared their immaterial forms. The tide turned dramatically. Imperial forces, reinvigorated by the Legion's presence, launched a counter-offensive. The Chaos Army, once confident of victory, now fought desperately for survival. Folkstein, realizing the battle was lost, attempted to retreat to his flagship in orbit. It was here that the most iconic moment of the battle occurred. As Folkstein's Thunderhawk lifted off, a single Legionnaire leveled his meltagun. The shot, defying all laws of physics and probability, streaked upward for kilometers, struck the ship's engine, and brought it crashing down in a spectacular fireball. Folkstein's reign of terror ended in that instant, his grand ambitions reduced to ashes. In the battle's aftermath, Imperial commanders sought to commend the Legion for their crucial intervention. Yet, true to form, the Spectral warriors had vanished without a trace. All that remained were the smoking remnants of the Chaos Force and the awed testimonies of Imperial soldiers. The Battle of Midgardia became a turning point in how the Imperium viewed the Legion of the Damned. Previously regarded with suspicion by many, they were now hailed as divine saviors. The ecclesiarchy seized upon the event, weaving it into sermons that spoke of the Emperor's undying vigilance and the retribution that awaited his enemies. Inquisitorial investigations into the battle yielded fascinating insights. Psychers present during the fighting reported a massive disturbance in the warp, coinciding with the Legion's arrival. Some theorized that the Legion had not simply appeared on Midgardia, but had fundamentally altered local reality to manifest in full force. The Adeptus Mechanicus studied battlefield recordings with great interest. They noted that the Legion's weapons, while similar in appearance to standard Imperial arms, operated on principles that defied known science. This fueled debate about the Legion's origins and the nature of their war gear. For the enemies of the Imperium, Midgardia served as a chilling warning. Chaos warbands became more cautious in their raids, fearing the Legion's intervention. Some Chaos Lords even incorporated contingencies into their battle plans, specifically to counter the potential appearance of these spectral warriors. The battle's impact extended beyond military circles. Artists across the Imperium created works depicting the Legion's glorious intervention. These pieces, ranging from grand sculptures to humble parchment sketches, helped spread the Legion's legend to every corner of Imperial space. In the years following Midgardia, Imperial citizens increasingly reported sightings of lone Legionnaires in times of personal crisis. Whether these were genuine manifestations or products of fervent imagination remained unclear, but they spoke to the deep psychological impact the Legion now had on the Imperium's populace. The Battle of Midgardia thus stands as more than just a military engagement. It represents a moment when myth became reality, when the stuff of legends walked corporeal ground to deliver salvation. In the grand narrative of the Imperium, it serves as a powerful reminder that even in the darkest hour, hope can manifest in the most unexpected and awe-inspiring forms. The Legion of the Damned's interventions have had far-reaching consequences for the Imperium, reshaping military doctrine, religious beliefs, and even the fundamental understanding of reality within the 41st millennium. In the realm of military strategy, the Legion's unpredictable appearances have forced Imperial commanders to adopt more flexible tactics. The possibility of spectral reinforcements arriving at critical moments has led to the development of damnation protocols, contingency plans designed to maximize the impact of sudden Legion interventions. These protocols often involve creating strategic openings or focusing fire on secondary targets, trusting that the Legion will neutralize primary threats. The Adeptus Mechanicus has devoted considerable resources to studying the Legion's weaponry and armor. While unable to replicate their otherworldly technology, Tech Priests have made advancements in flame-based weapons and phase-shifting armor inspired by observations of the Legion in combat. These innovations have gradually filtered down to elite Imperial units, enhancing their combat effectiveness against warp-based threats. Theologians within the Ecclesiarchy have grappled with the implications of the Legion's existence. Their appearances have been incorporated into Imperial doctrine as evidence of the Emperor's continued involvement in mortal affairs. New saints and feast days have been established to commemorate significant Legion interventions, further intertwining their legend with the fabric of Imperial faith. The psychological impact on Imperial citizens has been profound. Knowledge that spectral saviors might appear in times of greatest need has bolstered morale on countless worlds. This has led to increased resistance against enemy incursions and heretical uprisings as populations hold out hope for divine intervention. Conversely, some inquisitors warn of a growing complacency, fearing that over-reliance on the Legion might weaken humanity's resolve to defend itself. Among the Imperium's enemies, the Legion's reputation has sown discord and paranoia. Chaos warbands have become more fractious, with rival champions accusing each other of cowardice at the first sign of spectral activity. Some Orc Wars have incorporated Ghost Crumpen gear into their arsenals, demonstrating the Orcs' remarkable adaptability even in the face of supernatural foes. The Inquisition's understanding of warp phenomena has evolved due to extensive study of Legion activities. New theories about the nature of reality and the intersection between materium and immaterium have emerged, leading to advancements in warding techniques and the development of more effective anti-demonic weapons. Politically, the Legion's interventions have occasionally upset delicate balances of power within the Imperium. Planetary governors and sector lords saved by Legion actions often gain significant prestige, altering regional dynamics. In some cases, this has led to positive reforms and increased loyalty to Terra. In others, it has emboldened ambitious leaders to overstep their authority, requiring further Imperial intervention. The Adeptus Astartes have had to reassess their role as the Emperor's finest warriors in light of the Legion's feats. While most chapters view the Spectral Marines as allies, some see them as rival protectors of humanity. This has spurred many chapters to redouble their efforts in combat prowess and piety, striving to match the Legion's supernatural effectiveness through training and devotion. In the field of Imperial intelligence, the Officio Assassinorum has noted a marked decrease in the effectiveness of certain types of covert operations. The possibility of Legion intervention has made high-value targets more cautious, often surrounding themselves with anti-psychic wards and null field generators in hopes of deterring spectral assassins. The Adeptus Astronomica has reported fluctuations in the Astronomicon, coinciding with major Legion manifestations. This has led to new hypotheses about the nature of warp travel and the possibility of using these fluctuations to predict where the Legion might appear next. While still theoretical, this research holds the potential to revolutionize Imperial naval strategy. Culturally, the Legion has left an indelible mark on Imperial society. Tales of their exploits have become a staple of Imperial literature, with countless works dedicated to their mysterious nature and heroic deeds. Some worlds have even developed martial arts and military doctrines attempting to emulate the Legion's fighting style, though these pale in comparison to the real thing. In the wake of the Great Rift's formation, the Legion's increased activity has become a beacon of hope for isolated Imperial worlds. Reports of their appearances in the darkest reaches of the Imperium Nihilus have prevented many populations from succumbing to despair and heresy. This has proven crucial in maintaining the Emperor's realm in regions cut off from Terra's light. The Adeptus Mechanicus has begun incorporating Legion-inspired designs into void ship construction, particularly in Geller field technology. These modifications, while not fully replicating the Legion's warp-resistant nature, have shown promise in enhancing ships' survivability during warp transit. As the Imperium faces unprecedented challenges in the age of the Great Rift, the consequences of the Legion's existence continue to ripple through every aspect of Imperial society. Their legacy serves as a powerful reminder of the mysteries that still exist in the 41st millennium, and the enduring hope that even in humanity's darkest hour, salvation may yet come from the most unexpected sources. The Legion of the Damned employs a unique blend of conventional space marine tactics and supernatural abilities that defy the laws of physics. Their approach to warfare is characterized by sudden, overwhelming force applied at critical junctures, often turning the tide of seemingly hopeless battles. Materialization serves as their primary method of deployment. The Legionnaires appear without warning, often in the heart of enemy formations or at vital strategic points. This ability to bypass traditional defenses and fortifications gives them an unparalleled tactical advantage. The process of materialization itself is a weapon, as the accompanying bursts of ethereal flame can incinerate nearby foes. Their armor, while resembling standard Adeptus Astartes power armor, possesses extraordinary properties. It appears to exist partially in the warp, allowing solid objects to pass through harmlessly. This quasi-corporeal state enables Legionnaires to phase through walls, emerge from solid ground, or even materialize inside sealed enemy vehicles. The Legion's weaponry, though similar in appearance to standard Imperial arms, operates on principles beyond current Mechanicus understanding. Their bolters fire projectiles wreathed in ghostly flames that ignore armor and cover, striking directly at the target's life essence. Flamers project warp fire capable of burning both material and immaterial foes, proving particularly effective against demons and other warp entities. In melee combat, the Legion's warriors wield power weapons that blur the line between physical and psychic weaponry. These arms cut through enemy defenses with ease, their strikes leaving trails of unearthly fire. The mere touch of these weapons can banish demons or sever the connection between chaos entities and their mortal hosts. The Legionnaire's tactical acumen appears to draw from an otherworldly understanding of the battlefield. They strike with preternatural precision, targeting weak points and critical systems with unerring accuracy. This suggests either an incredible level of tactical analysis or some form of precognitive ability guiding their actions. Communication within the Legion remains a mystery. They operate in perfect synchronization despite never uttering a word or using visible signals. Some theorize that they share a collective consciousness, while others believe they receive direct psychic instructions from an unknown source. The Legion's immunity to psychological warfare is a significant tactical advantage. Fear, pain, and fatigue have no apparent effect on these spectral warriors. They advance relentlessly, shrugging off wounds that would incapacitate or kill even Space Marines. This unwavering resolve often breaks enemy morale before the battle is truly joined. In void combat, the Legion has been observed materializing aboard enemy vessels, bypassing void shields and hull armor. These boarding actions are characterized by swift, surgically precise strikes against key systems and command personnel, often crippling ships many times their size in minutes. The Legion's ability to manipulate local reality extends to environmental conditions. Witnesses report sudden temperature drops, gravity fluctuations, and localized warp storms accompanying their appearances. These phenomena can disorient and damage enemy forces while leaving Imperial allies unaffected. Their mastery over warp energies allows the Legion to counter enemy psychic attacks effectively. They can nullify warp-based powers, create zones of psychic nullity, and even reflect hostile psychic energies back at their source. This makes them particularly effective against Chaos Psychers and Tyrannid Zoanthropes. The Legionnaire's superhuman abilities extend beyond combat. They've been observed passing unhindered through minefields, toxic environments, and even the vacuum of space. This versatility allows them to operate in conditions that would be lethal to conventional forces. Their tactical flexibility is further enhanced by their apparent ability to alter their form and equipment to suit the mission. Legionnaires have been seen wielding weapons and wearing armor patterns from various eras of Imperial history, always optimized for the current engagement. In siege warfare, the Legion excels at breaking deadlocks. Their ability to materialize behind enemy lines allows them to disrupt supply chains, eliminate command structures, and open paths for allied forces. This often negates the need for protracted bombardments or costly frontal assaults. The Legion's combat doctrine emphasizes decisive action over prolonged engagement. They strike hard and fast, often vanishing as quickly as they appeared once their objective is achieved. This approach maximizes their impact while minimizing the enemy's ability to adapt or counterattack. Their supernatural nature provides unique advantages in urban combat. Legionnaires can move through buildings and infrastructure without hindrance, outflanking enemies and striking from impossible angles. This three-dimensional approach to warfare confounds conventional defensive strategies. The psychological impact of their appearance cannot be overstated. The Legion's presence often induces terror in enemy ranks while simultaneously bolstering allied morale. This dual effect can shift the dynamics of a battle before a single shot is fired. In conclusion, the Legion of the Damned represents a fusion of advanced technology, supernatural abilities, and timeless military strategy. Their unique capabilities make them one of the Imperium's most potent and unpredictable assets, capable of turning certain defeat into victory against seemingly impossible odds. While the Legion of the Damned operates as a collective force, certain individuals have gained renown through their extraordinary actions. These figures, though nameless, have left indelible marks on Imperial history. The Blazing Captain, as Imperial forces have come to call him, stands out among the Legion's ranks. Adorned with a burning skull helm and wielding a mastercrafted power sword, this figure often leads the charge in the Legion's most crucial interventions. During the siege of Hydracordatus, the Blazing Captain single-handedly held a breach in the fortress walls against a tide of iron warriors, his flaming blade carving through chaos-corrupted power armor with ease. Another notable figure is the Wraithbringer, a legionnaire wielding an ancient plasma cannon. This warrior's uncanny accuracy and disregard for the weapon's volatile nature have turned the tide of numerous void battles. In the defense of the Phalanx against a demon incursion, the Wraithbringer's plasma blasts banished scores of warp entities, each shot guided by an otherworldly precision. The Silent Chaplain, recognizable by his skull-faced helm wreathed in ethereal flames, serves as a beacon of faith even in his wordless state. His presence alone has been known to steel the resolve of faltering Imperial forces and strike terror into the hearts of heretics. During the purging of Radnar, the Silent Chaplain's mere appearance caused an entire cult uprising to lay down arms and beg for the Emperor's mercy. Among the Legion's ranks, a figure known as the Phasing Blade has gained a fearsome reputation. This warrior phases in and out of reality during combat, making it impossible for enemies to land a blow while he strikes from impossible angles. His interventions have been crucial in assassinating enemy leaders and disrupting command structures. The Eternal Gunner, a legionnaire forever fused with a heavy bolter, embodies the Legion's relentless nature. In the defense of St. Joan's Dock, this figure unleashed a continuous barrage for 3 standard days, each bolt finding its mark with unerring accuracy, holding back an entire Orc single-handedly. A mysterious psyker among the Legion's ranks, dubbed the Warp Walker by witnesses, manipulates reality in ways that defy comprehension. During the Tyranid invasion of Valador, the Warp Walker created passages through reality that allowed beleaguered defenders to outmaneuver the Hive Mind's forces, turning a hopeless last stand into an improbable victory. The Flame of Redemption, a legionnaire wielding twin Inferno pistols, is said to offer enemies one last chance at redemption before unleashing purifying fire. In the pacification of the Garan Nebula, entire squads of Chaos Space Marines reportedly threw down their weapons at the sight of this figure, choosing death by holy fire over continued service to the ruinous powers. A sniper of unparalleled skill, known only as the Ghostly Marksman, has become a legend among Imperial Guard units. This figure materializes at critical moments to eliminate high-value targets with shots that defy physics and probability. During the siege of Nemenkast, the Ghostly Marksman eliminated an entire Dark Eldar Cabal's leadership with a single round that seemed to bend reality as it sought its marks. The Librarian of Lost Lore, recognizable by his burning tome and staff crackling with warp energy, brings forgotten knowledge to bear against the Imperium's foes. In the battle for the Basilica of St. Mark's, this figure unleashed long-lost psychic techniques that unraveled 1,000 Suns sorcerers' most potent spells, turning the anarchic energies back upon the traitor's forces. A tech marine-like figure, dubbed the Spectral Smith, has been observed repairing and enhancing Imperial war machines in the heat of battle. During the defense of Forge World Graia, the Spectral Smith's interventions kept the planet's Titan Legion operational against overwhelming odds, his ghostly mechadendrites working miracles of battlefield repair that defied the laws of physics and the Omnisia's teachings alike. The Neverborn Slayer, a legionnaire bearing a massive demon hammer, specializes in banishing warp entities back to the Imperium. In the purging of the Carrion Wells, this warrior's hammer strikes not only shattered demonic forms, but severed their very connection to real space, creating zones of null energy that lasted for years after the battle's end. A figure known as the Shrouded Oracle moves through battle surrounded by swirling visions of possible futures. Imperial commanders who have witnessed this legionnaire in action report sudden, intuitive understandings of enemy movements and weaknesses, leading to strategic decisions that snatch victory from the jaws of defeat. The undying veteran, bearing armor marked with the heraldry of 100 forgotten chapters, embodies the Legion's mysterious nature. This warrior's fighting style shifts to match the foes he faces, displaying mastery of combat techniques spanning millennia of Space Marine history. In the cleansing of the Nephilim sector, the undying veteran's adaptability proved key to overcoming the myriad Xenos threats plaguing Imperial worlds. While these individuals stand out in Imperial records and eyewitness accounts, they remain as enigmatic as the Legion itself. Their deeds, however, serve as a testament to the diverse and formidable nature of the Legion of the Damned, each one a hero whose actions have saved countless Imperial lives and turned the tide of history time and again. Despite centuries of study and countless interventions, the Legion of the Damned remains shrouded in mystery. Their true nature, origins, and purpose continue to baffle even the most learned scholars of the Imperium. One of the most persistent enigmas surrounds their connection to the lost Firehawks chapter. While similarities in heraldry and the timing of their first appearances lend credence to this theory, it fails to explain the Legion's supernatural abilities. Some posit that the Firehawks' ordeal in the warp fundamentally altered their existence, transforming them into the spectral entities witnessed today. However, this raises questions about the nature of such a transformation and whether it could be replicated or reversed. The source of the Legion's power remains a subject of intense debate. Some theorize they draw strength directly from the Emperor, acting as an extension of his will. Others suggest they might be sustained by the collective faith of humanity, manifesting as a psychic construct in times of great need. A more controversial theory proposes that they harness the power of chaos itself, turned against its original masters. The Legion's ability to appear precisely where and when they're needed most has led to speculation about their perception of time and space. Do they possess some form of precognition, allowing them to anticipate future crises? Or do they exist outside of conventional time, intervening at will across the span of history? Their weaponry and armor, while superficially similar to standard Adeptus Astartes equipment, operate on principles that defy the Adeptus Mechanicus's understanding. The ethereal flames that wreathe their bolter rounds and the phase-shifting properties of their armor suggest technology far beyond current Imperial capabilities. The origin and nature of this advanced war gear remain unknown. The Legion's motivation is another point of contention. While their actions invariably benefit the Imperium, they never communicate their intentions or accept accolades. Are they driven by a residual sense of duty, the last remnant of their humanity? Or are they compelled by some greater cosmic purpose beyond mortal comprehension? Their relationship with the warp presents a paradox. The Legion seems to utilize warp energy in their manifestations and abilities, yet they stand firmly against the forces of chaos. This has led some to question whether they represent a different aspect of the Immaterium, one opposed to the ruinous powers, but distinct from the Emperor's light. The psychological impact of the Legion on those who witness them is a phenomenon in itself. While their presence inspires hope and courage in Imperial forces, enemies experience supernatural dread. The mechanism behind this effect, whether it's psychic in nature or a natural response to their otherworldly appearance, remains unclear. The Legion's numbers present another puzzle. Do they represent a finite force, the remnants of a single transformed chapter? Or are they continually replenished by some unknown means? Reports of their appearances range from lone warriors to company strength forces, with no discernible pattern to their deployment strength. Their method of selecting intervention sites is yet another mystery. While they often appear at pivotal moments in major conflicts, they've also manifested to save seemingly insignificant individuals or locations. This suggests a grand strategy beyond mortal understanding, or perhaps a more empathetic nature than their grim appearance would suggest. The Legion's apparent immunity to corruption, even in the face of powerful chaos entities, raises questions about the nature of their souls, if they indeed still possess them. Are they protected by some divine grace, or have they transcended the vulnerabilities of mortal spirits? Their ability to materialize and dematerialize at will challenges fundamental understanding of the barrier between real space and the warp. How do they traverse this boundary with such ease? And could this knowledge be applied to improve Imperial warp travel or defend against chaos incursions? The variation in their appearance, with some Legionnaires bearing resemblance to different Space Marine chapters, has sparked theories about their recruitment or composition. Do they assimilate fallen warriors from across the Imperium, or is this another manifestation of their mysterious nature? The Legion's role in the grand tapestry of fate is perhaps the most profound mystery. Are they merely reacting to events, or are their interventions part of a larger plan to shape the future of the Imperium and perhaps humanity itself? As the Imperium enters an age of unprecedented turmoil, with the Great Rift splitting the galaxy, the enigma of the Legion of the Damned takes on new significance. Their increased activity in these dark times offers hope, but also raises new questions about their nature and purpose in the face of such monumental threats. The Legion of the Damned stands as a testament to the enduring mysteries of the 41st millennium, a reminder that even in an age of terror and enlightenment, there remain forces beyond mortal understanding, working in silent vigil for humanity's survival. As the Imperium of Man stands at the precipice of a new era, the Legion of the Damned's role in shaping the future of humanity becomes increasingly pivotal. Their spectral presence, once a rare phenomenon, has evolved into a cornerstone of Imperial mythology and military doctrine. The Legion's impact extends far beyond the immediate aftermath of their battlefield interventions. Their very existence has fundamentally altered the Imperium's understanding of reality, challenging long-held beliefs about the nature of life, death, and the warp itself. Scholars and theologians continue to debate the implications of their existence, with some seeing them as proof of the Emperor's divine will, while others view them as a harbinger of humanity's potential evolution. In the wake of the Great Rift's formation, the Legion's appearances have taken on new significance. As vast swaths of the Imperium find themselves cut off from Terra's light, stories of the Legion's interventions serve as beacons of hope in the darkness. On worlds thought lost to chaos or Xenos invaders, tales spread of burning warriors emerging from the shadows to turn the tide of battle, rekindling faith in the Emperor's protection, even in the most dire circumstances. The Legion's influence on Imperial military strategy continues to grow. Commanders now factor in the possibility of their arrival when planning operations, sometimes taking calculated risks in the hope of triggering a Legion intervention. This has led to both spectacular victories and costly defeats, as the unpredictable nature of the Legion's appearances makes such strategies inherently unreliable. In the realm of Imperial technology, attempts to replicate or understand the Legion's abilities have spurred new avenues of research. The Adeptus Mechanicus has made strides in phase shift technology and warp-resistant materials, inspired by observations of the Legion in combat. While still far from matching the Legion's capabilities, these advancements have begun to filter down to elite Imperial units, enhancing their effectiveness against warp-based threats. The Legion's actions have had far-reaching consequences for the balance of power within the Imperium. Worlds and leaders, saved by their interventions, often gain significant political clout, altering long-standing power dynamics. This has led to a subtle reshaping of Imperial hierarchy, with those favored by the Legion's actions rising to prominence, sometimes at the expense of more established authorities. In the face of evolving threats, the Legion's role as a counter to the forces of chaos has become more pronounced. Their ability to combat warp entities on their own terms has made them an invaluable asset in the ongoing war against the ruinous powers. Some within the Inquisition even speculate that the Legion may be key to humanity's ultimate victory over chaos, representing a fusion of Imperial faith and warp mastery that could tip the cosmic balance. The Legion's impact on Imperial faith cannot be overstated. In many sectors, they have become revered as saints or angels of death, their appearances woven into local religious traditions. This grassroots veneration has sometimes clashed with official Imperial doctrine, leading to tensions between the ecclesiarchy and popular movements centered around Legion worship. As psychic awakening spreads across the galaxy, the Legion's nature as warp-touched entities has taken on new relevance. Some see them as a potential guide for humanity's psychic evolution, a glimpse of what mankind might become if it can master the powers of the Immaterium without succumbing to corruption. The mystery surrounding the Legion continues to drive scientific and theological inquiry. Entire branches of the Adeptus Mechanicus and Inquisition are now dedicated to unraveling the secrets of their existence. This pursuit of knowledge, while perilous, has led to breakthroughs in understanding the nature of reality and humanity's place within it. In the grand narrative of the Imperium, the Legion of the Damned has become a symbol of endurance and hope. Their continued existence in the face of overwhelming odds reflects humanity's own struggle for survival in a hostile universe. As long as the Legion appears in mankind's darkest hour, there remains hope that the Imperium too can weather any storm. Looking to the future, the Legion's role in the fate of humanity remains uncertain but undoubtedly crucial. As the Imperium faces unprecedented challenges, from the expansion of the Great Rift to the rise of new and terrible Xenos threats, the spectral warriors of the Legion stand ready to intervene at pivotal moments, their flaming weapons alight against the encroaching darkness. In the end, the Legion of the Damned embodies the enigmatic nature of the Warhammer 40,000 universe itself. They are a reminder that even in a realm of science and technology, there remain forces beyond mortal comprehension, where faith, duty, and sacrifice can manifest in ways that defy explanation. As the Imperium marches into an uncertain future, the burning shadows of the Legion march alongside, silent guardians of humanity's destiny in the grim darkness of the far future.